Andy Chrisman of For Him has spent 40 plus years in Christian music, and chances are he knows your favorite artist personally. Now he's bringing you their stories.
I'm Andy Chrisman.
In his new podcast, 1 Degree of Andy, he sits down with the voices behind the songs for real, honest, and faith-filled conversations you won't hear anywhere else.
That's a great question.
If you love Christian music, this is your backstage pass.
The 1 Degree of Andy podcast.
Listen now to 1 Degree of Andy wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Medicare Moments, America's favorite Medicare podcast with America's favorite Medicare podcast host, Toni King. Hi, Toni King.
How are you doing, Jim?
Doing okay, Toni. This is a very special podcast. I want to tell our listeners that the first time that we dropped the podcast about Medicare fraud, we had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people downloading it. And we want to circle back because it's something that has been happening and it continues to happen. And the best way to cut it off is to be proactive. So, Toni, I'm going to throw it over to you so you can talk about what you found out about your sister's Medicare account.
Well, Jim, you need to be a little more specific when you say funding for Medicare. People are not understanding how this is going as far as Medicare fraud is concerned. It's not about you having a claim, whether you have a claim or I have a claim. It's about a Medicare claim done by a bogus company that is filing the claims. You never see the claim, and yet thousands and thousands and billions of dollars, we're talking billion, is being paid for this, and it's been going for years. I don't understand why it's taken Medicare so long to get involved, to find out what they need, to finally say, hey, we've got Medicare fraud. Let's get together. We need to solve this. Do you? What do you think, Jim?
It does need to be solved, just like you said, Toni. And there's one way to do it, and that's for everyone who is on Medicare to go to Medicare.gov and review their account and make sure simply that what you're paying for are the services that were rendered to you, not someone else. And you don't have to pay for those other services. Toni found that out as well. This hit Toni King really close to home. We're going to dive in deep after we take a commercial break. And before we go to the commercial break, I want to tell you something. It's America's 250th anniversary. All across the Fruited Plains, people are going to be celebrating. And if you need a new flag, if you would like the new American 250 flag, if you'd like to freshen up what you currently have, put bunting around, do something, get really patriotic by July 4th or even after this year, Toni's made a special arrangement with Grace Alley Flags. You go to tonysays.com, you'll see the flags there, click on it, and what you do, because everybody listens to what Toni says, put in Toni Says 10 at checkout. For the promo code, you get a full 10% off on anything you bought on that site that has all kinds of things, flag holders, flag poles, flags, you name it, they got it. So Toni's doing that especially for you and for America as we celebrate our 250th anniversary. We'll be back right after this.
Caring for someone with dementia is one of the toughest journeys, but you don't have to do it alone. I'm Allison Schreier, and my experience caring for my husband inspired me to create Zinnia, a therapeutic streaming service designed to support people living with dementia and reduce caregiver stress. Zinnia offers research-backed videos intentionally created for people with dementia, engaging, calming, and easy to follow. Whether you need to ease agitation, create moments of joy, or make daily routines smoother, Zinnia is here to help. Family and professional caregivers use our content to turn challenges into opportunities for connection. Accessible by subscription on mobile devices and connected TVs, Zinnia is simple to use whenever you need it. Because when caregiving feels easier, life feels better. Go to zinniatv.com and sign up for a free trial today. Use the code RESOURCE for 15% off an annual Zinnia subscription.
You're listening to a very special edition of Medicare Moments. We're addressing Medicare fraud and the billions, yes, Toni said billions of dollars it costs Medicare, which is actually money coming right out of our benefits in some way, shape, or form down the road somewhere. And this is what Toni found out after she was exploring Medicare.gov and looking at her sister's account. Right, Toni?
That's right. And about a month ago, they had a video that Medicare sent out. And it says, Medicare fraud, shut it down. it was warning everyone about the fraud. Well, the next week they sent out another letter saying that we're sending out a new Medicare card because a lot of people's Medicare had been compromised. What you need to do, and you should do this once a week, once a month. If you don't know how to use the computer, have your kids or a friend come over and open you up a Medicare.gov account. And on Medicare.gov, it shows your claim and you can view your claims. Don't wait to get the little letter that shows 3 months worth of Medicare that has been spent on your side. You need to go and look at this all the time. It's on Medicare.gov. G-O-V. Now, I looked at my sister's last year and I noticed that there was a claim, 5,000 urinary catheter supplies that was charged for my sister. And there was not one doctor name on it or anything. And when I looked at it again, it said that Medicare had paid $7,500. They never verified it. What I want to know is, why does Medicare not verify our claim? So this was a bogus claim. About 2 weeks ago, I sent out an email blast to everyone that's on my newsletter. And if you want to get on the newsletter, you go to Toni Says, which is Toni. I'm Toni with an I and not a Y because I'm a girl. You go to ToniSays.com and you sign up for the newsletter. So I went and put out a special email newsletter about the Medicare fraud. Tina's fraud was in Denver, Colorado. I had 4 clients here from the Houston area that their fraud was out of Florida. And they had talked to 3 or 4 of their friends, and they all got the same kind of fraud situation. It has something to do with urinary catheters. I don't know why, but nobody checks it. And that's not fair. That's not fair to us, because this is your Medicare dollars that we used for healthcare going away. It's just a pot of money that they're giving to someone that's not in the medical profession, that's not a doctor, whatever. It's a scam. It's fraud. And they realized it, so new people got a new Medicare number. How I found out that Tina was getting a new Medicare number is she now has to have home health. And the home health agency called and said, I need to let you know your sister is getting a new Medicare number as of March 31st. We had no idea. Nothing had ever been sent to us. About a week later, she got a letter with the card. There's a lot that you've got to look at. They're saying there's 1.3 million people on Medicare that are being affected by this, but I think it's more, because I have talked to different people and they're all have gotten that same claim. People need to, number one, know how to go on Medicare.gov. Number 2, look at your claims. And if you see something that's not accurate, then contact Medicare. You can call them, dial 1-800-MEDICARE. I did this last year when I saw the fraud, and I told you about it, Jim. I said, I can't believe this. I mean, there were 300 catheters from April to September charged to Tina. Who would know?
This was for services that were not delivered, services that were not rendered, and she didn't have to pay for it, but Medicare paid for it, and it is plain and simple fraud. So join Toni's team to try to stop Medicare fraud by going to Medicare.gov, review all your plans there. You can review your Part D there. You can look at any payments that have been made on behalf of your account there. And if you see something that is not what you received, services you didn't receive, things you didn't receive, call the 800 Medicare number, 800 MEDICARE number, and talk to them and tell them what your account number is and what's happening. And they'll take a look and they'll help you. And over 1,000 people a month download the Medicare Moments podcast, and about 25%, that means about 250, are brand new listeners to the Medicare Moments podcast with Toni King. So if all of our listeners do this it's a step in the right direction to try to help to protect the future of Medicare. Wouldn't you agree?
I think so. I think this is the best thing we can do, but I think we need to add one more thing that everyone needs to do. Call your congressman. Congress is the only one that can change this, and let them know that you've had a Medicare fraud. We need to stand up as a group. There's 69 million people on Medicare. What happens if we have no money? Where are we going to get our health care? This is a very, very, very serious situation. All it's going to do is raise our tax dollars. And I'm sorry, if I got cancer, I'm going to MD Anderson, and I better make sure MD Anderson has enough money to pay for my cancer. I do not have cancer, but you got to get in the game. You have to get involved. You can't just sit here and wait for someone to do it. Call your congressman. Let them know what's going on. Call your state senator. That's what they're there for. They're not there to sit here and worry about what's going on with the election. They're here to protect us. Don't you think, Jim?
They are. So thanks for listening to this edition of Medicare Moments. Medicare Moments is new every Wednesday morning. You can find it on all your favorite places to download podcasts. Tell your friends about it and share Medicare Moments with your friends. For anything Toni offers, Toni's books, Toni's articles, an article about Medicare fraud, which will greet you when you land on the website. Some new things that are coming in the upcoming weeks that Toni's going to be offering. There's great stuff. There's even webinars and videos there. TONISAYS. ToniSays.com. TONISAYS. ToniSays.com. 832-519-8664 is Toni's USA Medicare number. You can call 24/7 and eventually someone will get back to you. It may not be at 2 a.m. when you call. It's 832-519-8664. So we appreciate having you along. We appreciate you helping in this issue with Medicare fraud. And Toni, it's back to you.
And if anybody would like to email me if you see fraud, let me know what's going on, because we have got to get this information to America. Whatever your situation is, it affects everyone the same way, doesn't it, Jim?
It does. Okay, Toni, back to you.
Well, I'll see you later.
Hi, I'm Toni King, host of Medicare Moments podcast. Join me every Wednesday as I share tips, strategies, and little-known facts I've learned over the past 20-plus years. I put Medicare into people terms, and I want to help you personalize your Medicare, because with Medicare, it's what you don't know that will hurt you. Medicare Moments is available now anywhere you listen to podcasts.